Hi there, Taurus, and welcome to your final forecast of the year. This is your December 2016 reading. As always, you can use it for your sun sign, for your rising, and for your moon. Really great to see you guys. And I know that this has been a year that with a lot of ups, a lot of downs. There's been a lot of interesting stuff going on in the media. And one thing that I've noticed is there's been a lot of focus on negativity. And so my hope and my sort of purpose each month is to try to shift that around, to empower you with the information that you need to have a great month, to give you some heads up on what's coming around the bend for you. But also, I really want us all to be more empathetic because I'm seeing a lack of empathy right now in the world. So as I channeled your message this month, I got the word blessing. And one thing that will help you in this sort of feeling lost or confused sometimes with all that's going on in the world is to look at the little blessings. And I talk about this from time to time in my monthly videos, but for you, I actually got that it starts small. Think of like a macro lens on a camera. When you use the macro lens, you take something very, very small and you see all the small details in that. It's like almost the molecular details. So if you can take something really small in your life that other people maybe don't have and realize it's a blessing, the ability to breathe easily, the ability to see, to hear, to taste, to feel, to walk, to love, to think, to just take care of yourself. As you look around at possibly younger children, older individuals in your life that may be struggling with these very basic things, suddenly you realize just the fact that you're here, you're watching this video, and that someone on the other end cares about you, that's a blessing. So if you can't think of anything else, then I'm going to give you that blessing, which is I care about you, I want you to be happier and healthier, and today someone cared. So there's always something for you, okay? I want you to try to start small and then go big. Then it can be something like, wow, I have this opportunity, or this new thing is happening, or love is happening in my life. But for those where life could be very challenging and you think there's nothing, there's always something. But sometimes we get so sort of distracted that it's hard to find it. Once you can find some of those blessings, then you don't get so angry, and then you're able to sort of shift your emotions and see opportunities. So that was my goal for you this month, and that's your channeled information. And so now let's take a look at the Catalyst card, which is going to really show you how to jumpstart the month. So I'll pull the camera down, shuffle. Catalyst is a reaction, basically something that causes a reaction. And for you, it's to shift the blame, to not blame other people, and also to not blame yourself so much, because sometimes we feel like everything that's going wrong is our fault or someone else's fault, when the truth of the matter is there are a lot of parties involved. And so accept your responsibility and then let go of it. And sometimes if someone else in your life isn't ready to take the responsibility that they need to, it's not your job to make them see that. So, my grandfather once said that the cool thing about getting older is that you don't have to prove that you're right. You just sometimes understand your point of view, you know that it's okay. And so for you, just know sometimes that you're thinking rationally, things are all right, and you don't always have to prove your point of view to someone else. It's a very empowering thing to do, because then suddenly you can just focus on what's important, on being productive, on getting your life together, and the energy that you're putting into someone else having to see your point of view, it goes away, and then you're just, again, you have more energy to give. All right, so now let's take a look at what the cards want to communicate to you this month. All right, so we'll give it a quick shuffle. So with the Ace of Pentacles right at the center, it's a really good month for business. I feel like there is an opportunity that's waiting, or that your financial situation is something that you really want to pay attention to. Let me look at all the cards, and we'll get a sense for how this is going to plan out for you this month. All right. So, as I said, center card, Ace of Pentacles, and what I would say with business, first of all, a lot of you are sitting on something pretty powerful. If there's a big idea, or maybe you have a good investment, this looks like it's a good month. The snake is always a double-edged sword for me. First of all, it means, like I said, something great, something powerful. It also means be cautious, and just make sure that if you are starting a new business partnership or a contract, that you trust the person that you're engaging in the contract with, and that you're on the I would say making sure that you have more of a stake in it. So like a 60-40 split, with you being on the 60% side. So make sure that you're in control of your money, of your finances, of your business decisions. Queen of Swords is crossing that. And again, when I see a snake and I see the spider, it means that you need to be the one creating the boundaries, weaving the web, making the situation sort of like take form. And if you are, it's great, because then you're in control. And both of these are power symbols, and I'm using a Native American deck, so don't be scared by symbology. What I like about the spider is it almost has an infinite source of creative energy, always weaving new things, always creating new things. So for you to be in your sort of place of power this month, it would be you being at the center, communicating, setting the plans, and creating what you need to catch your dreams, to catch what you need. So the spider web is actually not a bad thing. What can be difficult, though, is if you are relinquishing power, or if you're sort of having to follow someone else that you don't believe. So if you can, try to be on the side that is setting the rules. If you can, try to be on the higher end of the spectrum if it comes to a business deal. Now, for those of you where that can't relate, or you're sort of like, listen, I have 5 bosses above me, this isn't going to happen. What it means is you have still great potential to expand money and career opportunities this month. It's all in communication. And so your words are what's going to draw people in, because you'll notice there's a sticky quality to them. And communication, when you think of really good public speakers, or really compelling public speakers, the way they react, or the way they actually get people to react to them, that's where their power is. So whether it's someone like, I'll try to think of, well, I'm not going to actually pull politicians into this because that's just heated. So let's just think of, a celebrity. Really, part of their quality, it's their aura, but sometimes if it's a singer or if it's an actor, they have a great way of pulling you in with their voice, with their image. And so that's what you want to work on this month, is how can I be really convincing in my arguments and not sort of critical, okay? So with the Queen of Swords, that's also what it says, is don't be too critical. Okay, King of Wands reversed. And I think this actually came through for Aries too. But for the King of Wands reversed, it's usually about doubting yourself, doubting your ideas. And if that's the case, we're going to look at the recent past here. We have the Knight of Wands and Knight of Wands reversed as well. So with this being reversed, it's almost like a double whammy with ideas. I think you actually need a sounding board. You're actually making things a little bit more complicated than they need to be. We have the Nine of Swords here reversed. And what I like about this illustration, usually it's a card that shows up being trapped. This one shows that you have some support around you, that there's opportunity, but you need to reach out to the larger group around you for that support, for that assistance. So this is a month to ask for advice, ask for help, and lean on other people and allow them to be that help, that assistance that you need in your life. Nine of Wands reversed is showing me that many of you are overdue for a promotion, or overdue for the next sort of big step up in your life. And that's why I was really keen on you making sure that any sort of business decision that you make, or anything that you're doing, that you're in the driver's seat. But I think you just need to continue working hard. Try not to lose sight of the goals that you have, and I think you can accomplish them. When I look at your ego position, we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So there is going to be sort of a give and take happening with money and power this month. So you may need to take some money out of savings to make money, or you may have saved something up and now it's time to spend it. If you feel confident about it, go for it. And if you don't, then don't act. But this is sometimes, that's what we save things for, is to make an investment. So if you need to do that, do that. When I look at your environment card, we have Judgment reversed. So I sense that many of you may be really questioning big decisions this month. And I don't see a pressing need to make them. So if you're not ready to make the decision, I'd rather you pause 1 month than to do it and regret it. Okay? If I'd seen something like the World card or the Tower or something that's showing like an immediate change that needs to happen, I would say go for it. But with Judgment reversed, it's saying wait. Wait and make sure you've thought through it adequately. I think things are going to work out fine, but you may need to take a 1.5 month pause, and then I actually think that the solution will come clear to you. And the other thing is, this is a month where you want to maybe not rely so much on what other people are projecting out at you. So I know it's good to have a sounding board. I always think that's great. But if you're receiving a lot of criticism, sometimes if you're a public figure or if you're in a position of power, or even if you're the lowest one on the totem pole and everyone seems to blame you, tune it out this month and just continue to stay strong in what you know is necessary in your life. And eventually this card shows that hard work and consistency win out. The final card for this month is the Knight of Swords reverse. So there's a lot of swords. I think you got basically we got two, and you also got the Knight of Wands. So with swords and wands all in reverse for you this month, I would say communication is the biggest hurdle and the biggest area where you could use assistance. So if there's someone in your life that you trust on either giving you advice on how to better communicate, or you could sort of use to practice with, that would be really helpful. Don't second guess yourself, but if you're at a point where you don't feel comfortable making a decision, this month I say wait. Okay, we're going to expand it out to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny, and this may all come into clearer focus. Then I'll review it, and we'll see where we end up. So for your health this month, let's see how you're doing. So breathing is what's really important. The card was reversed, but it's all about anything that's going to help you with your breathing. So yoga, any sort of cardiovascular activity. And I really want you to get outside if you can, if weather permits, because I know some people are going through winter, some people are going through summer, depending on which hemisphere you're in. But if the weather permits, get outside and have fresh air, or surround yourself by more plant life. So get a nice, fern and put it at your desk. But I want you to have fresher oxygen and also clean your environment so that you're able to breathe more if you're having allergies. And actually, if you're having allergies, go see a doctor. So for anyone that's having problems with breathing or obstructions there, really focus on that. That's going to help not only sort of make you feel better, but oxygenate you and help your thinking process. All right, so let's take a look at wealth and career. Really was curious about this, and we got balance. And notice I love this card because it shows the issues with boundaries sometimes and projections of other people's issues onto you. So that was exactly what I was saying here, which was give yourself some space and time. Maybe it is something like 4 to 6 weeks, but at that point, I think things come into focus. You may need to get away from someone who is so sort of either codependent or so tied into your life that you don't have a chance to sort of form your own decisions. And that's what I think is leading to the doubt here. So as we get a little more clarity with this card here, I would say, although it's good to have support, it's good to have input from others, I think you have to get comfortable without having someone's blessing in what you want to do this month. So separate yourself from someone who's always trying to tell you what to do. Come up with your own decision, and if you need to wait until the middle of January, by all means do it. It might actually be January 14th before you're ready to make that decision. So take all the time in the world if that's what you need. All right, let's take a look at romantic situations in your life. Love. Could also be just relationships if you're single, but let's see how this comes through. So that is really playing in directly with the card that I just saw. There's someone in your circle who isn't being completely honest with you. And I honestly think that since we were looking at wealth here, I think it has to do with a work situation. So really trust your intuition, and if there's someone in your life that seems to just be a little tricky or you don't trust them, that's what you want to listen to. Listen to your heart and go with your gut. It's good. It's just as good as anyone else's intuition. Finally, and this is beautiful, your destiny card this month is basically about seizing opportunities. We have Mother Earth. And this is about, we saw this beautiful element card earlier about getting outside, getting some fresh air, breathing. What I like about this is, if there was any doubt that 2017 is going to be a year of opportunity for you, let that fade now. We saw a lot of stressful cards here. I don't see that as being something that you need to feel so much stress. I think there's anxiety, and it's going to fade next year. December is a tricky month for you, but it's not the end of the world. I see January being really, really positive. So it says here you're called upon to help the environment around you. This isn't necessarily literal. It doesn't mean like helping the globe. What I see with this is getting more connected with the world around you. That means I want you to get in the elements. Go swimming, go out and build a fire, maybe a campfire, or get your hands in the earth, do something like that. Run, let the wind go over you. I want you to feel whatever element you feel connected to. I mentioned fire just because that also can help you feel more active too. But fire can be action. It could be writing. It could be something like that. So yeah, get in the elements. But if you can literally feel earth, water, air, and some sort of fire or symbology of fire, then get yourself connected with that this month. Fire could also, you could actually do earth and fire by like creating pottery and, you know, putting that in the kiln. But anyway, there's a lot of ways to do that. Why do I mention that? The more connected you are to the elements, the more grounded you are to the planet, the more you're able to sort of do what you need to do. As far as what does it mean for next year, it means some of you are going to seize an entire new opportunity. When I see the globe here, it actually symbolizes the world to me. Some of you, that means you might actually want to get more involved with politics, with the environment. If you want to do that, do it. So let me bring everything into focus for you, and I think that's going to help. Your channeled information was to look at the little blessings and then gently work yourself up. That's going to help you realize how much you have and basically pull your sort of chemical and your mental process into something of receiving, of appreciation, of gratitude. To not blame yourself too much, nor to blame other people. The best you can do is to work on yourself and try to help other people see how they can improve, but you can't change them overnight. When we look at everything this month, I do see that there is great potential with money to be made, to be changed, possibly a new job, but only go for it if it feels good and if it's something where you can have a say, because I see that being something that's lacking perhaps in the past year. Try not to stress so much about things. I feel like you are protected. There are opportunities that are waiting for you. The biggest thing that you need to do is feel comfortable about that. And if you aren't, give yourself time. I see a 6-week window being really beneficial for you. When I'm looking at what's really important for you right now is to be in control of your money and your budget. And so sit down and really understand how much is coming in and how much is leaving. That's going to help you with decisions on selling a house, buying a car, starting a new job, whatever it is the Ace of Pentacles could represent for you. And finally, and most importantly, with the Knight of Swords reversed, it's all about your ability to maybe listen before communicating. I mentioned this for Aries, and it seems to be true for you guys as well. Allow for a pause. You don't need to say anything like right off the bat. This month is actually more about taking things in. So you're a little bit more passive than what I saw for Aries. So I'd almost rather you guys pause, listen, wait, and then decide after you've made the decision. I think the decision shouldn't be any longer than 6 weeks for those of you that have a decision to make. And for those of you that don't have a decision to make, I see 6 weeks being the opportunity that's coming through with this Mother Earth card, where you might have a chance to go for something out of your comfort zone. When we look at the expanded forecast, the rest of it, again, breathing and clearing up any sort of respiratory issues, really, really key for you this month. For wealth, it's about getting yourself out of any sort of deceptive relationship at work, and that came through for love as well, which is there could be some jealousy involved. There could be someone who just really isn't hoping for the best, and if that's the case, break that down. The other thing the deception card can mean in a less sort of like nefarious way is just, are you being honest with yourself and what you want of others? If not, it's saying just be clearer, because there's usually nothing to be lost if you're clear. It's only if you start to sort of build up layers, put layers around the onion skin so people can't see in, okay? So I hope this was helpful for you, although that really the key thing for you this month is to release the hesitation, to allow yourself time to think through something so that you're ready. Once you're ready, you're gonna be fine. January looks great. Just get through the decision-making process and make sure that you have a say in matters of work and matters of money. And if you do that, it's gonna be a great December for you. If you ever want to have more of a one-on-one reading, I do offer private readings, so you can click in the corner and see rates and availability. Otherwise, if you'd like to stay in touch, the easiest way to do that is just to click subscribe, but I also have a newsletter, and I'm really active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well, so you can join me there. And a newsletter also, and I try to send that out on the 1st or 2nd of every month when all the videos are posted. And finally, I wish you guys the best of I really hope that your New Year's is fantastic and that you've accomplished everything that you needed to. And it's been my honor, really it has been my honor to be able to be here for you each month. So thanks for making room in your schedule and in your heart to allow me in as well. If you ever want to just support the channel, feel free to do that. I'll post the link again at the end. Otherwise, have a great 2017 and I'll see you in January. Sat Nam and Happy New Year. Bye-bye.